Good day, learners. I am Miss Mzolo. I hope this video finds you well during these tough times. This video is meant to introduce you to our new chapter, Development of the Self, under the subtopic Peer Pressure. Basically, peers are people from the same group of age. Therefore, the term peer pressure means the influence that peers can have on each other. Although peer pressure does not always have to be negative. Let us look at the term pressure for you to gain the glimpse of why I am saying it does not need to be negative all the time. So, pressure implies that the process influences people to do things that may be resistant to or might not otherwise choose to do. So now you can see why I'm saying that it does not always have to be negative. It can be positive. Let us take a look to the examples that will differentiate between positive and negative peer pressure. We will start with positive peer pressure. Positive peer pressure could influence a young person to become involved in sports. This involvement could be positive, leading exposure of healthy lifestyles and role models, and eventually leading the young person to become a positive role model to her or himself. Moving to the negative peer pressure. That same peer pressure could lead the same young person to over-identify with sport, putting exercise and competition above all else, and putting it as the first priority. Therefore, if it is taken to an extreme, she may develop exercise addiction, causing her to neglect schoolwork and pay more attention to sports. These can lead to numerous health consequences. Besides the two categories that are mentioned above, which is negative and positive peer pressure, we also have some types of peer pressure, which is spoken and unspoken peer pressure. Looking at unspoken peer pressure, it is when, for example, you feel you are supposed to act or dress in a certain way because it seems like everybody else is doing it. Let us take a look at the spoken peer pressure. That involves a person directing, asking, persuading, either directing a person to behave in a certain way or to take action in a specific manner. True beyond any doubt, you are all assuming and asking yourselves why people give in to peer pressure. The answer is simple. Some kids give in to peer pressure because they want to be loved, they want to be liked, they want to fit in. Besides, others go along because they are curious on trying the new things that others are doing. As we all know that everything have the effects. It's either bad or good effects, negative or positive effects. Let us take a look at the effects of the peer pressure. Peer pressure can direct a child's social behavior. 2. It also influences a child's emotional development. 3. Peer pressure can lead to a self-doubt. Lastly, it can stimulate mental disorders like anxiety and depression. So everything must have the solution. Let us quickly take a look to how to deal with peer pressure or the ways to avoid peer pressure. You need to have the power to say no. Make an eye contact and say no. Family to show that you are not willing to compromise. You can also change the topic or opt to leave if you feel uncomfortable. Try to avoid going to places where it's likely for you to get pressured into something you don't want to do. You can also consider to choose the new group of friends if the pressure continues. Thank you. I am looking forward to see you tomorrow in the class. These were just the highlights of what we will be doing tomorrow in class. Please come prepared for the questions and answer session. Thank you. Have